This is my do song. Hey, 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 hey. Okay, my cord is not long enough. Wait a minute, I got another outlet behind the stove. Maybe this will fry my phone, I don't know. But it is another outlet behind the stove. Okay. All right. So, hello there. My name is Shmajan, aka Shmajan. I'm a knitting streamer here on Twitch. And I wanted to give a very, very special miniature stream, if I can even call it that. It's not going to be my standard length by any stretch of the means. It's just that this is the very first stream that I'm ever going to do from my new place. I'll give you all a tour around. The painters just left. They're going to get lunch and come back. I don't know how long it's going to be, but by 3 o'clock, 3:30, things will be done, and I'm on my way. So I'm not even expecting a lot of viewers to come in and watch me right now, if only because this stream is going to be super short, and it is in the middle of a day on a Saturday when everyone's out having a good time. So I figured this is going to be on VOD, and I will get some knitting in just to make it an inaugural stream of what's going on. So let me give you an idea. I'm also going to export this to YouTube just for posterity. I'm going to show you a quick tour of what's going on. The painters still have their stuff here, so it's a little messy, but I don't have any of my personal belongings here. I'm just here today with whatever's on this chair, a whole bunch of donuts and coffee upon which this phone is resting. So without any further ado, let me show you around. I'll probably get 10 minutes or so of knitting in there and telling you how my day is going, and away we are. All right, so we're gonna go on a little field trip. Ready for this? Okay, here we go. And now you're mobile. That's not creepy at all, is it? All right. So can I flip the camera while I am recording? Yes, I can. And there's the Dunkin' Donuts. This is not a sponsored stream by any stretch of the means. All right, so let me get you all oriented. Alrighty, so first and foremost, the entryway with 2 large closets. It's probably a bit more storage than I need, but the first one's gonna be the coat closet. This one here is just gonna be extra storage and tall things and whatever. But behind me is the commode. And this is where I assume all my knitting stuff is going to go, in this closet. I'll probably have to reorganize it in smaller containers. I have no idea. There's the bedroom, which actually is a bit more spacious. Every time I come in here, it feels or looks a lot bigger than I'm used to, because my prior apartment had a bedroom about this size, but it's just going to be me. And again, more storage. I'm going to refrain from opening any doors because, as you can see, I kind of can't. They took the doorknobs out so they can paint within here. Ditto the light switch. Ditto the sconce and everything up there. And look, another closet, just so I can get my towels, everything in. So this place has a ton of storage. It's just not deep storage. And there's the infamous rust-colored wall. It needs another coat. You can see the vertical lines and the degradations and everything that's happening. Yeah, what's this with my wrist? Anyway, you can see that it needs probably another coat, a third coat to get everything done. But everything else is being put in that same kind of off-white, slightly, barely yellow ivory. But the piece de resistance of this entire apartment is that I can't wait for springtime and summertime when I can start doing live streams out here at the balcony. Was not expecting that I would find a place that had one. It's just a happy accident that it did have one. Hello. And this gaudy thing. I've hit my head on it about 3 times today alone. But there you go. The carpet's going to be changed out, so that's not happening yet, which is the reason why as the painters are going around, I'm like, don't worry if you spill any paint on the carpet, it's going to be thrown out on Wednesday anyway. But that's it. This is what made me fall in love with the place, the kitchen itself. Yeah, it's got a lot of mess because I'm kind of cleaning up, and I was expecting more painters than there really were. So I really don't know the etiquette about tipping painters, so I got them donuts, cookies, coffee, and so on. I am a huge fan of pumpkins, as we already have established on this stream. So, of course, I have my pumpkin dish towel rag thing to rest on. And look at these amazing original 1970s cabinets. They are gaudy, but they're in great condition. And that's the first thing I noticed when I came into the kitchen, because all of this was original. It was never renovated except for maybe a lick of paint on the walls. So all of this is original in here, and it's in pretty good condition. Even when I looked in the drawer underneath, this is not lopsided, it's just not closed fully. House tour. Hello, Mr. Fartbrains. Hello. This is the new place. But yeah, look at this. Look at this. This is all original 1970s stuff, and it's in pretty darn good condition. All the shelves are all set. And yes, would you like a donut? Do you want a donut? Here, let's get some close-ups just for you. Again, I'm not going to be responsible for any liquid damage that occurs to your computer, keyboard, or mobile device because of the salivation that you are causing. And look at my fridge. It's got a ton of food in it already, just an absolute ton. And of course, no kitchen is complete without a Mr. Coffee. So there you are. You stayed up and watched that entire game last night? You stayed up and watched a double game, 18 innings? Oh man, what is it, in the 12th inning that things got really intense with, what was it? LA scored on the Boston scored on the top and LA responded on the bottom, and it was 2-2 after that inning. I can't believe that you watched that whole thing last night. I fell asleep around the 8th inning. But yeah. Anyway, so let me set you back down here, and I'm going to plug in. So, MFB, I wasn't expecting y'all to be here, but I'm hoping that you're having a good day. Give my best to Boba. And by the way, that was a really cute mini pumpkin that you made. So I can't wait to see what else that you make. I'm also streaming completely from my mobile phone, so no doubt that my data plan is going to go anytime soon. But I figure today was going to be a really, really, really mini stream. Depending on my timing tonight, I'm going to be doing an honest-to-goodness stitch and pitch. And if you haven't noticed, I can breathe again. I'm not coughing my head off every 20 seconds. Although, what was that in my neck right there? Yeah, that's not sexy at all. 7 hours of games. That's 2 baseball games back to back, dude. And they got to go at it again. I don't envy them, but it just goes to show that when they're in LA, Boston and Dodgers are essentially evenly matched. But anyway, I'm going to get some knitting done, and we can chat a little bit. This little micro stream, as I stated at the very beginning before you joined in, is going to live on video on demand on Twitch. Plus, I'm going to export it to YouTube for posterity, because this is literally the first stream I'm doing from the new place. Although technically I'm still in Connecticut until I can move in. Congratulations on breathing. Breathing is good. Breathing is amazing. You never can underestimate breathing. Yeah, it was not fun in the past few days when I had the cold, and you know that feeling when you are about to sneeze? You feel the sneeze is about to come, and there's that point of inevitability when the sneeze actually occurs. That, but in coughing, and that was my entire day yesterday. I felt like a cough had to happen, but there wasn't anything going on there. So, there we go. Whippet Knitter. Hey, did I not notice you in there? He said hi. You were there from the very beginning, and I didn't see it. Again, I'm using my tiny little iPhone 8 to stream right now. It's probably about that big, so I can barely see what's on chat. So, Whippet Knitter, I do apologize for not seeing you as you came in. I really do hope that you're having a good day. But without any further ado, Naturally, I had to find the plastic cups that had the Mets logo on them. Just for the sake of doing this for a few minutes, so you can all be here for the historic event. You snuck in. Yes, you did. Just so you can be here for the historic event, I am putting together a bandana cowl. My pumpkin project is at home. I did not update my whatchamacallit. I didn't update my commands, so if you do exclamation point pattern, it's going to show you the pumpkin pattern that I'm going to be continuing tonight. Though this is the bandana cowl that you can find on Purlby. The great thing about this project is that it uses bulky yarn. It comes up just as fast as a hat does, and this is really great practice if you have not done or are not comfortable with doing short rows. So I recommend checking it out. Again, the pattern is called Bandana Cowl. Let's see if I can get that in the camera. The yarn that I'm using, I picked up at the Sheep and Wool Festival. It is a, quote, Australian wool that just seemed very generic. And it's a bulky weight yarn. It is hand dyed and it matches a hat that I made in a previous stream. So I'm just gonna put a few stitches in this and then maybe about 10, 15 minutes, or when the painters come back, I'll probably get things rolling. But anyway, that's what we got. Yes, MFB, yes. But yeah, I don't know how much of the yarn I got, but this is all I have left. I'm gonna go back and forth and it just kind of knits up like a hat. It's a super simple pattern. So yeah, I've made quite a few of these. It's sort of like the cowl, but for dudes. Actually, that sounded rather mildly sexist. Anything can be worn by anybody if they darn well please. So how is everybody's Saturday going so far, other than slightly groggy from watching a 7-hour baseball game last night in LA? Although knowing the traffic in LA, I'm betting that the baseball players finally made it back to their hotel now. And now they have to leave again because there's another game tonight. Oh my word. Waiting for the coffee to appear. I am sewing. Nice. What are you sewing together? Or are your hands too full? Waiting for coffee to appear. Which is funny because I was thinking that there are going to be 4 painters here. It ended up being 2. They started about 8:30, 8:45 my time this morning, and they're telling me after this lunch break they're going to be done about 3:30. If they're done at 4, that gives me enough time to get home and then get to the car dealer where the recall on the car that I just purchased has been completed and I have documentation on it. Ooh, dice bags. I love dice bags. Oh yeah. This is sort of like a gigantic dice bag. It's more like a potato sack. But I got this at the Sheep and Wool Festival as well. And I'll let you guess why I got this. 2 guesses why I picked up this bag, even though I needed it like another hole in the head. I'll give you another guess why I picked this one up. Just random guess. Guess. It's the same reason why I have this my Talk custom bag here as well. Hopefully you can see that on stream. Right behind the chat, but there you go. I got that bag done, and even though it's very Halloween themed, you can bet your Sweet Pippy, I have no idea what a Sweet Pippy is, but you can bet on it, that even though the Halloween season is going to be over, I'm still going to be using the heck out of that bag. So, big fan of dice bags. And purl side short rows, slip 1 purlwise, yarn in front, put slip stitch back. And let's go knitting the other way now. It's funny how double decreases and short rows can make this shape work. It's round and I need to figure out how to cut proper circles. Oh. Now, I don't know if I can help you there unless the circle that you're making is like the size of a cup. When I was in school, what we had to do sometimes when we were making vegetables is that we had to cut a paper lid that was round to fit over the vegetables in the pot. The reason why is that when you have vegetables and the pot's this high and you have this much air, this is where the heat is. It's not over the veg. So we created little parchment discs on top of the on the veg that we had to cut out. So I'm not sure if it helps, but what we had to do is that we started off with the square, folded it again, and this is the dead center. We fold it again along that. Fold it again along that, like we're making a paper snowflake. And then one more time. Okay, so that when we cut, what we're left with, hopefully, is a perfect circle. So hopefully that helps, but this is something we do often. Oh, look at that, it's almost perfect. So that's the closest I can get to a perfect circle, but that's what we would do. Norian, guten Abend, how are you? Thank you for joining. So this is, again, Norian, a mini stream. You see how I did that? Did you want to see me do it again, or did you get for what I did with that? Yeah, Norian, as I was mentioning, today is a mini stream. I'm probably going to be streaming for about 10 minutes or more, but my regular stream is going to happen tonight. This mini stream is officially the first stream from my new apartment. I've not officially moved in yet, but I figured I would get something in there just for posterity. And the whole thing is going on video on demand and on YouTube, so you can catch it later. I am a witch? What do you mean I am a witch? Which witch? Which witch do you mean? A sandwich? I can use a sandwich. No, I mean, that's the... Did I throw out both, or did I drop the other disc? It's somewhere around here. Probably fell into the sink, but I don't think I threw both of them away. Whatever. Small children won't die. But yeah, that's how we did it. We just fold I'm guessing you would use like a piece of muslin or something very small. Just take a square-ish. Yours came out wonky. As long as you cut it, so you started off with a square. Let's try that again. So it's not perfectly a square, but as long as you start off with a square, or like a sheet of paper, like an 8.5 by 11, you fold it in half, or if not an 8.5 and 11, an A4 for my European friends, you fold it in half. This stream is not sponsored by Dunkin'. You fold it in half again. Now this was the center where my finger is. That was the center of the napkin. So I'm gonna fold it again on that. Fold it again on that. And then if I can, I fold it again on that. So I have the dead center point right there. The more I fold it, the more circular it's going to be. And then I'm going to cut or eyeball an arch. To be careful not to cut myself because I don't have any Band-Aids where I'm at. What was that text message that just came in? From whom? Was it somebody telling me that my data plan is almost full again? Again, I have no Wi-Fi where I am, so I'm not sure if my data plan is going to be really messed up or not. I've used 75% of my high-speed data for this period. Well, that's okay. I got Halloween coming up, but there you go. There's my circular discs. In fact, I got 2 of them, but there you go. That's all. That's all it really takes. But anyway, just to get caught up, Norian, what I am making now is what's called the bandana cowl. If you do a internet search for bandana cowl, you will see the famous pattern from the Pearl Bee blog. And it's a really simple pattern. It just goes back and forth once you set up a circular round. And the refrigerator just kicked in. All right, so now just picking up that short row on the knit side, knit one, and now I'm making the short row by slipping purlwise, bringing the yarn to front, slipping it back, putting the yarn back in the back, turning my work, and then purling until I just don't feel like it anymore, or until I run out of yarn, whichever one comes first. Did they figure out the stove? Yes, and actually I feel like an ass because there's a circuit breaker on the other wall behind me, which I can't touch because it's covered with orange paint. And in it are the four main circuits in the place. There's a circuit for the little sockets in the living room and the bathroom. There is a circuit for the 240 volt outlet in the bedroom for the air conditioner. And then there's a circuit for the 240 stove and the air conditioner in the living room. Those two are on the same socket. So I thought that the air conditioner in the living room and this one, the stove upon which the phone is resting, weren't working. As it turns out, the circuit breaker was just flipped off. Now, normally when you leave a room and you switch the switch off, it's in a down position like this. Well, that's the way the circuit breaker looked. And I thought that it was, no wait, excuse me, it was like this. So this is the on position for your standard switch. It's when it's up like this, if my wrist was the wall. So I'm flipping it on, nothing's happening, the clock isn't going down. Then I flip the switch off and everything came on. So I got the stove figured out, I got the AC figured out. There was a leak in the sink, but the supers changed the faucet. There's a leak in the bathroom sink that might just be down to sealant that's not working well, but that can wait because I can live with that for now because that's a minor fix. Or I'll just have to re-renovate the entire bathroom once I save enough money. But there you have it. Alrighty. So I'm probably going to stream for just a few more minutes, if only because, as I said, the painters are on lunch break and they probably think I'm strange enough as it is for them to come home and to see me chatting with nobody talking to a camera. Yeah. Well, that I'm also on mobile and my data plan isn't unlimited. There we go. But that's it. I can't wait to have a lot more streams and to get everybody all acquainted with the new place. Hopefully in the spring and summer, there's going to be streaming on the balcony. So how does everybody's Saturday look? Other than caffeinated, Mr. Fartbrains. How does everybody's Saturday look? Good. Good. Because if we're done at 3 o'clock or 3:30 here, and I can get back to Danbury, I'm going to pick up a new car today, so yay, big day. Picking up the purl wrapped stitch by inserting through the wrap from back to front, at the same time purling through the stitch in the needle. And now I'm going to create another purl wrap and then turn around and we knit back. Mr. Fartbrain says lazy. Norian, Sunday is relaxed. What did I end up going with? Whipping it, or do you mean which car? Or what's the context? Because I think on yesterday's stream or on some other stream I mentioned that the car that I bought, the day that I bought it, had a safety recall on it. Yes, the car, okay. The car that I bought had a safety recall. So I'm like, okay, I shake hands, I give the first half of my down payment. They're going to detail it, fix it up, do their inspection, because it's certified pre-owned. It's not from some used car lot. And I get home, then learn that there was a major safety recall on it. Something to do with the vaporizer that gets the fuel into the engine. might misread pressure and vacuum itself shut, causing a stall of the engine from which you cannot get the car to turn back on again. Sounds great. But we caught that before I drove it home or off the lot. They're addressing it. And yeah, the car itself is a 2016 Ford, I was about to say Ford Fusion. What is the car that I just bought? What is the name? What is it? What is the car that I just bought? Not a Ford Fusion. That's the one I'm renting. Oh, it's just going to kill me. Because it's on the tip of my tongue. It's right here, but I can't figure out exactly what car. Ford Focus. That's the reason why I couldn't. I couldn't remember because it's alliterative. I'm renting a Ford Fusion, and now I have a Ford Focus that's completely mine. Fiesta. All these F's. Growing up, my dad had a Ford Festiva. The Ford Festiva predates the Fiesta, and the Festiva is a tiny, tiny little commuter car that's like an engine surrounded by aluminum foil and with saran wrap for windows. That thing just made you feel so exposed. So, meh. I'm happy. I finally have a car to call my own. I have my own apartment to call my own. I have a mortgage to call my own. My heart is telling me that I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm waiting for them to say that there's a problem with the credit department and I have to get a car loan. But you know what? I've already planned for that contingency. Shrug. So, are we going to be watching the baseball game tonight? So I'd love to invite you over to chat baseball in the chat and the stream this evening. Yes. All right. So I'm not gonna be there as soon as the game begins because I'm gonna be perhaps streaming around 9 p.m. or so Eastern Standard Time in the United States. So 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be like 1 or 2 a.m. European Central Time, or Mountain Time is probably 7 p.m. Not looking at baseball. Hey, that's perfectly fine. No judgments. But yeah, I hope to see you all this evening. As I mentioned, I may have to sign off right after I finish this row, if only to keep the stream short and sweet. At least y'all got to experience it. And again, Whippet Knitter, Norian, MFB, anyone else that may have been lurking, I do want to thank you for being part of the stream today. Again, it's a historic stream because it's the first one from my new place. Watch it on the VOD, at least the very beginning of the stream when you watch it on VOD, because I do a tour of the apartment so you can see what's going on. And then I'll export it to YouTube when everything's all set. But tonight is going to be all about baseball, knitting pumpkins for the Twitch Pumpkin Along. If you aren't already familiar with that, please find yourself a pumpkin pattern to knit or crochet. Do that on stream and then hashtag your final project, hashtag Twitch Pumpkin Along, so that we can get a nice community of crafters getting crafty for the harvest season. All right, so let me just pick up that wrapped stitch, purl one, make my purl wrap, and then I'll do 2 or 3 stitches just to secure. All right, just so you can see what's going on with this. This is the front of the cowl. The coloring is actually a muted kind of a denim blue with specks of purple, though my camera seems to be picking up a lot more purple than there really is. And this is bulky weight yarn on size 10 needles. US size 10 is 6 millimeters in diameter for anybody keeping score. And yeah, When the short row section is done, there's going to be a narrow column that goes up to the neck part. I adore this pattern. I'm pretty much off book with it at this point because I've made so many of them. They make a really great gift. They knit up quickly, and they're one of the few projects that are simple to do with a single skein of bulky yarn. And if I don't have enough yarn, I just bind off early. Not a big deal. Anywho, once again, MFB, Whippet Knitter, Norian, and any lurkers, thank you for being part of my stream. I do have to get going. I just wanted to get something in my maw and kind of straighten up a little bit. So when the painters return, they're ready to go, and I can hopefully get out of here on time to make it back to Danbury. Plus I got phone calls to make. Schmajamom and Schmajadad are waiting for me to tell them how long I'm going to be here, because they have to drop me off at the dealership so I can drive home in a new car. Yes. Alrighty. Thank you once again. I will hopefully see y'all tonight. You can watch me, or you can wait for me on the Discord for any further announcements if for whatever reason I can't make it, or if it's going to be a different time. But I expect to be on around 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. But as my usual sign-off goes, my name is Schmajan, aka Schmajan. I'm a knitting streamer here on Twitch. Thank you for getting strung out with me, and thank you for joining me on this very special stream. So yeah, bye. Bye. End broadcast, yes. Bye.